Hi, we're going to talk about types of hormones today. This video will be very, very brief because we only have to talk about two of the three main types of hormones. All right, so let's get into the categories of hormones. First up are steroid hormones. These are going to be lipids, right? So if they are lipids and your cell membrane is made of lipids, then these steroid hormones can cross directly through the cell membrane. So when they do that, they're going to bind to receptor proteins right here. And these receptor proteins are going to be inside of the cytoplasm or inside of the nucleus of the target cells. Together, they're going to form what's called a hormone receptor complex. What does a hormone receptor complex do? It serves as a transcription factor, which either promotes or inhibits transcription and translation of genes. And remember, transcription and translation have to do with protein synthesis and the making of proteins based on the DNA blueprint. Okay, so that's steroid hormones. Some examples of steroid hormones are cholesterol, estrogen, testosterone, progesterone, cortisol, and aldosterone. We are going to focus on, in another video, estrogen, testosterone, and progesterone. Estrogen being the main hormone to make female secondary structures, and then testosterone being the main hormone to make male sex secondary structures. Progesterone is going to be found in, the way we're going to talk about it the most is going to be in the female reproductive cycle and its role in the cycle and pregnancy and the attachment to the uterine wall. That is where we will talk about it the most. Cortisol it's fair to note, is also known as like a stress hormone. So anyway, you may have heard of cortisol before. Okay, on to protein hormones. Protein hormones are hydrophilic, meaning that they are water loving. And so because your cell membrane is made primarily of lipids, and lipids are hydrophobic, meaning they don't get along with water very well, something that is hydrophilic is not going to be able to pass through a hydrophobic membrane. So what do? Well, they have their own receptor proteins, and those are going to be right here on the cell membrane surface. The binding of this hormone triggers a cascade. We've used that word before, and these are called secondary messengers. Secondary messengers, let's see if we can follow along. Here we are. Secondary messengers are small molecules that can spread quickly throughout the cytoplasm and send signals throughout the cells. The two most common are going to be our calcium ions and our cyclic AMP, or our cyclic AMP. These secondary messengers are going to affect the cell's functioning by activating or inactivating enzymes. Okay. Some examples of these are going to be things like the antidiuretic hormone, or which is the one that helps you with water retention. Oxytocin, which has to do with uterine contraction. It does a lot of things. Remember, this is the social bonding hormone. It makes you more receptive to individuals that you find familiar and less receptive to those individuals that you find as a stranger. Anyway, it's also used in the milk letdown once you've given birth. So a lot of contractions there. It's also another example of a protein hormone is going to be insulin, which we're going to talk about quite a bit in another video today, and glucagon, which we will also talk about. We will talk a little bit about parathyroid, maybe in a different video, but we are going to talk in great detail about FSH and LH in another video. Okay, so that's it for this one. Thank you for joining in, and I will see you in another video very soon.